to move to Australia as a carer. This information is still new. The government released this thing on the 19th of May. Yeah, that's when it was published, and they agreed that this thing is going to happen. It's something that is going to happen very soon because the proposal was launched on the 10th May, and on the 19th it was approved to see how urgently they need the carers to come here to assist. You are so lucky that you are one of the first people to get to know this information. Like I said, it's still brand new information that just came out from the government. So stay tuned and enjoy the video. So it's going to talk about actually two things: the employer and the employee. So the employer, I'm going to mention a few requirements that the employer needs to know, and there's going to be one for the employees where like the requirements that the employees or you as an applicant you need to have. Yes, for the employer it's so that you as an applicant can also know that it is your employer is what is supposed to provide certain services to you. Yeah, that's why it's important to know what the employer needs to know about this initiative, and so that you don't get cheated. Yeah, that's what I can say. So that if your employer says they are giving you a certain visa, yet the government says this visa, you know that this is probably the wrong employer or the scam. Yeah, so enjoy the video. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning into this channel. Thank you so much for your subscription. I really appreciate the support. And the new subscribers, welcome to the channel. This is Bophelo with Keke. Okay, let me just introduce myself for those that don't know me. My name is Keke Bebe. Yes, but known as Keke, that's what I'm called. Okay, I'm the girl born and bred in Lesotho. Maseru, Khubetswana Lekopo. Yes, that's where I come from. But I'm a nurse by profession. I practiced in my country a few years and then relocated. I was in Namibia for about 3 years, left Namibia, went to the UK, and I was in the UK about 2.5 years. And currently, I'm in Australia. Yes, I'm a nurse in Australia now. Okay, so I share with you the information that I research. Some it's through my experience. Please note, I'm not a migration agent. I have no link to the government or whatsoever agencies, recruiting agencies or not. I'm just a girl that wants to share information with you. And please remember, the information that I share, it's through my research. Please go and research deeply, as I'll leave the links to where I got the information. So my information is not the final say. It's just the research, and make things easy for you from where I read, in my understanding and opinion. Yes. So today, like the topic has said, we are going to talk about the new aged care industry labor agreement in Australia. Yes, in Australia, to be specific, because other videos I talk about UK and all, but today it's specifically for Australia. So because of high shortage of this aged care worker, the government came up with this. Sorry, I'll just be reading from my phone the notes that I have so that I don't leave any information. I'm going to attach this link to the website so that you can go and read everything so that you understand. So here we'll talk about the people who in this video we are going to talk about who will apply for this, and the requirements that are going to be needed, and how this thing is going to go about. Okay, so from the website here it says Australian aged care providers can now apply to access the new aged care industry labor agreement. The aged care industry labor agreement streamlines the recruitment of qualified direct care workers from overseas to work in aged care sector. So here what happens is that the employers are the ones who are going to apply to the government for this agreement so that they can be able, it can allow them to recruit from overseas the qualified carers. Okay, so now these carers are going to be sponsored to get the visa to relocate here, and this visa, it says they get subclass 482, which is a temporary skilled shortage visa, and this visa is for 2 years, and after 2 years someone will qualify to apply for permanent residence, which is good news. Who doesn't want to move to a place where you know after 2 years you are going to be a permanent resident there and you'll be able to settle, get the benefits that citizens get? I think I do. Okay, so these occupations that I mentioned here is nursing support worker, personal care assistant, aged or disabled carer. A lot of people, or if you are in the healthcare sector, these are the things that you can do, like a nurse assistant, nursing aides, or those who train to be as a carer, or nurses. You qualify to do this, all these three. So sponsor overseas workers for permanent residence under the employer nomination scheme program, isn't it? That's what we talked about after 2 years, because it says workers must have at least 2 years full-time work experience in Australian and relevant direct care occupation. That's just what I had just explained, that they sponsor you 482 visa, then after working for them for 2 years, then you change your visa to get the permanent residence, isn't it? Okay, so now let's move on. The requirements for this visa, it's 2-year pathway to permanent residence through the employer nomination scheme. It's the one that I just talked about. Those are the requirements, because it says the employers need to be ready that they are going to nominate you as a carer, as coming to work as a carer here, to then get the permanent residency after 2 years. Sorry for that. Streamlined visa nomination and priority visa application processing. So all it says is that the visa for this aged care, it's going to be in priority list, meaning so here in Australia what happens is when the visa applications come, they are ranked according to their priority, and the processing time becomes faster depending on the priority. So it says here this aged care visa will need to be on the priority visa application, isn't it? So it means this visa is going to be super quick. No post-qualification work experience is required. So after you qualified, you don't need any experience. I'm yet to explain the qualifications that they need down as we go. Okay, English language concessions for workers with relevant community language skills. So you still need to prove the English language. I'm here to talk about the scores that they need down there. And the annual salary should be at least 51,222 Australian dollars annually. That's just the minimum pay rate. That's just the minimum wage that they are saying they should give. Remember, employers, since they are going to try to attract as much people, attract employees, some might put their rates higher, some low, some the same rate. So yeah, this is just the standard annual salary. You can convert in your own currency. Convert in South African rents. I'll put it somewhere here in South African rents, how much it is annually. Okay, So that was just the requirements for the employer that they need to know. It's that they must provide their employee with a visa that will allow them after 2 years to be permanent residents, and they don't necessarily need to look at the work experience. As long as someone has a qualification, they also need to look at the English requirements, and the annual salary minimum is that one that was put. So the visa application requirements, now this is for you. What do you require as the applicant that the employer is going to look that you have? So they say you need to hold a relevant AQF certificate 3 or equivalent. So it needs to be a certificate 3 or equivalent or higher qualification. And you can also have 12 months of relevant work experience or part-time equivalence. So what does it mean here? It's either you have this AQF certificate 3 or equivalent, or higher qualification. So if you have this I checked this AQF certificate 3. The training here, it's usually when I checked, it's usually like from 6 weeks upwards. Yeah, those are the training times or periods, and there's certain hours they require for practicals that are mentioned there. But since it says or equivalent, so where you are coming from, probably you are a nursing assistant, or you have been a trained carer, or you are a nurse, because it also say or higher qualification. If you are a nurse, you can also come and work here, or you have experience of working at least 12 months. There is no certificate, but you have experience working at like healthcare for 12 months, full-time or part-time equivalents. Yeah, so is it clear? The requirements for you to have this, to qualify for this, it's that you need to have level 3 or higher. So from home, where I come from in Lesotho, nursing assistants or nurse aides or enrolled nurses from other countries, those with diploma or certificate in nursing, those with degree in nursing or higher, you qualify for this visa. And also you need to obtain a positive skill assessment from the Australian Nursing and Midwifery Accreditation Council and the Australian Community Workers Association if you obtained your qualification overseas. So what's going to happen here is the government is talking to these two boards, the Nursing and Midwifery Association and the Australian Community Workers Association, for them to evaluate the results or evaluate the qualifications of overseas trained people, or if you are coming with the proof that you have been working for more than 12 months, which they'll stipulate what you need. If you are just coming with the experience, no qualification, there's going to be that evaluation. And you also need to have English language proficiency level of at least 5.0. So here they only need 5.0 of that is IELTS that they mentioned, or equivalent. If you are writing OET, you can check, or other tests that English tests that you want to write, you can check what is the equivalence of 5.0. So those people for skills assessment, what is still happening now? The government is still arranging. This thing is going to happen as soon as tomorrow. Yes, that's how they need healthcare professionals. If we remember well, in UK, news came that they wanted to recruit, and they recruited. So first, the early birds, people who applied earlier, it was easy for them to go. Yes, it was easy for them to migrate, and they are carers now in the UK. But people delayed and started started questioning things and everything, and the time that they were now assured, it was now too late, because it's now so difficult to move to the UK. So that's the reason why I'm telling you these things now. So what is happening is this thing is still in the pipeline, but it is up. The government approved it already, so they are still arranging with the employers for them to sign the agreement and everything, so that they meet the requirements that they need, the requirements that we have talked about, that they need to meet, and ensure that people that are coming here are not going to be exploited. They'll get their visas after 2 years, and they get the minimum salary that was stipulated. And so this assessment, they are also talking to those two institutions. They are not yet assessing the people for that at the moment. They still have their own assessments on their site. Soon they'll be out on how they are going to assess, because they want to make things easy. The way they assess and their requirements of the things that they are going to need from people are probably going to be less than what they required now. So in no time, I'll keep on checking, and I'll come back to you and let you know that now it's time. You can go ahead and start applying and share the vacancies and what you need to apply and the documents that are needed. But this thing is happening very soon. Yeah, it's happening very soon, because this was proposed and approved in May. I think on the 19th, it was proposed on the 10th. The government said and agreed, and on the 19th May, they agreed that they really need to go ahead with this thing. So they are still now talking to the employers. Employers are still applying to be approved to recruit from abroad. And the nursing councils the nursing council and this accreditation councils, two of them are still putting their maybe they need people to work on those and the requirements and the system and everything. They're still working on that. Soon they are going to start to recruit. So I'm telling you to be prepared. If you are going to write English, it is needed. Go and write English and start saving a few dollars for this assessment. I watched the other news as well. I was watching the news. I also heard that in Western Australia, the government is planning to assist people with funds for these assessments, but that one is not a showcase. It's still something that they just said, so we are not sure. So the best thing is you save your money for this assessment. Yes, you are going to need money for the assessment. You might be lucky that you get the employer that says they are going to sponsor everything. Like for some people that came here, got sponsorship from the employer. The employers did everything for them, including the flights, visas, and assessments and all. Some employers said, I'll refund when you get here. Some, the employer says, I'm just giving you the job and I'll just give you the nomination for the visa, and that's it. You do everything yourself. So it just depends. Just to be ready, just save a bit of money for this assessment. Go write your English so that it can be ready for when this time starts. When the time ticks, you are surely going to be the first person to know. So subscribe to my channel, hit the bell button so that you can be notified when I post videos or write notifications or anything on my channel. You'll be notified. Okay, this is what I have today. I hope it was clear, and if it was not clear, please remember to ask in the comment sections below. That's where I'll answer the questions. Okay, to finish up, I had asked some people in the group, Facebook group that I was in, to ask any questions about Australia, and I got a bit of some questions that I'll need to answer, but I thought I should just do the video so that I cover most of the questions that were there. The first question was about which English. So the English, they are saying IELTS or equivalent. So it's all those other ones, as long as they are equivalent to IELTS, those ones that are registered. It can either be OET, there's also PTE, there's also, yeah, those ones are the ones that I can remember. And the minimum requirement, they said it's overall 5.0. That's 5.0. That's what they want. And the other question was accommodation, that there is crisis of accommodation here. So how are people going to live here? Yes, currently there is crisis of accommodation, but people are still getting accommodation. I personally arrived here a month or two ago. I got accommodation. Some employers arrange accommodation. If not, their friends, or if you don't have friends, there is internet for arranging this accommodation. You can still find something. Yes, as long as you have proof that you are going to work and everything, you can still find accommodation. And besides that, this is the thing that the government realized that it's a problem. Hence, they are also making it easy for construction workers to come here and build houses. Yeah. So I hope it has answered your question. The other one is about snakes and spiders. I know, that was my worry as well, and I had to do a lot of research, call a lot of this for snakes and spiders. I'm new. I arrived in almost winter. I haven't seen any big spider. I haven't seen any snakes. I've asked people who have been here for about 2 years. They were also from Africa. They said they haven't seen snakes. So all I can say is that, like where I come from, it's a mountain kingdom. We know mountains, there are snakes. But I think in my lifetime at home, the only snake that I saw, it's this one that comes when there was rain or anything. Maybe I saw it once or twice. So that's not what is happening. If you go into the bushes, and what will you be doing in the bushes? What will you be doing in the bushes deep? That's where you can find snakes. But everywhere where there is a potential that snakes might be there are always some boats that be careful. Like people who like hiking, there'll be some notice that be mindful, there might be snakes or anything. Yeah, but I haven't seen any, honestly. And people that I've asked said they haven't seen anything. Okay, so the other one was, how can I be assured of the security for coming there in order for me to avoid human trafficking? So the answer to this is, never go for anything that is not there in the government website. The government website is the one that will tell you whether this thing is legit or fake. If in the government website it says employers are able to recruit these people, recruit overseas people, then it's there. If there is nothing like that in the government website that says people can be recruited for a certain thing, do not go for it. And also, when you get the employer, check if these employers are legit. Yeah, you need to check that these employers are legit. Like I said, I'm not a migration agent, so I don't know much about that, but you need to check if they are legit. Like the age. Where I was reading about this skilled assessments, it says anyone above 18. So the maximum, maybe the concern can be about the permanent residence, because initially 45 and above were not able to above 45 you were not able to apply for permanent residency. But now with this they're making things easier for people. I was reading somewhere, I think it's starting from July, people that have been here and people that are in skilled occupation lists, they can apply even if they are above 45. So all I can say is there's no restriction. As long as you're above 18, you can be able to apply for this job and come. And after that, after 2 years, you get your permanent residence, which can lead to citizenship. Yes, the nice thing about Australia is that a year after getting your permanent residence, you can be able to apply for your citizenship. Yes. The other question, I think so far this is all I got from the questions. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you liked the video. Please click on the thumbs up if you did like the video, and stay tuned for more videos. I'm going to do the video for nurses, how I came here. Okay, let me just say how I came here as a nurse, how I registered, like the process of registration that I went through as a nurse to be here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was not too long. I love you. I'll see you again on the next video. Stay tuned, and please go share these videos and tell other people that CARER is in the house, sharing information with the people. Thank you so much.